scores as well as safe shots on goal for some of these goalies. Give me both teams to score in the first period. That's coming in at plus 185 compared to the over 1.5 that is at minus 120. Okay, you guys ready? Let's make some frickin' money. It's time for Pocket with Jo. Hey, good morning, everyone. Jo here of SportsGrid. It's time for Pocket with Jo. Over here on SportsGrid TV on X, we have loaded a slate today. 10 games on deck. We're going to go over all of these games, picks, props, predictions, and like always, we will do the recap at the end of the show. So if you can't hang out for the next probably 40 minutes, make sure you do come back. Check out that recap. We'll do those round robins of those player points in that segment as well. So let's jump straight into it, you guys. I hope everyone's having a fantastic Tuesday. It is Tuesday, December 17th. I can't believe how this year has flown. A week from now, it's going to be Christmas Eve. We won't be here because of the NHL break, but man, I tell you, time is going fast. Let's look at the Buffalo Sabres versus the Montreal Canadiens. Now, all odds are over on FanDuel. The Montreal Canadiens coming in as the home dog at plus 104 against a Buffalo Sabres team that hasn't won in their last, 10 games? Could they go in to the Christmas break without breaking that losing streak? I absolutely think this team can, and then they could come out of the break and be able to get that win. They're minus 125 on the money line, and you guys know my thoughts about looking at the Buffalo Sabres here. I just can't do it unless we're looking at that first period. The first period is where they seem to get up, but against this Montreal team that's really been fighting out there on the ice, Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield, they've been playmakers. I just can't get there. We were lucky to get it in Buffalo's last game. We got the 2-1 win in the first period. So if you're riding with me, that was a sweat. We got Buffalo on the money line in the first period. We got the over 1.5 goals as well in that as well. So looking at this one, we've got a total of 5.5 in this game. The juice is to the over 5.5 at minus 140. It's way too juicy to take at 5.5. I still think this could go over 6.5 goals. So if you want to play around with alting that total, if you like this one to the over like I do, I would definitely look at alting it. I don't want to lay minus 140 on a total, but I think you can look at that first period. So when we look at the first period over 1.5 currently on FanDuel is coming in at minus 120. I think it's a really strong look here. I also, value-wise, I can't not take Montreal in this one. I just don't trust Buffalo. Now, Buffalo in the first period on the money line doesn't have enough value. And this is a team that we've been betting, we've been making money with, even though they've been losing because we've been looking at those first periods. Can we trust them here in the first period, though? No, I can't trust them, especially at minus 122. In a lot of these cases, we've been getting plus money on the Buffalo Sabres on the money line in the first period. And at minus 122, I'm not willing to bet it. I do think the first period over 1.5 is your best bets. I would be looking at Tage Thompson and Alex Tuch here for the Buffalo Sabres to record those points, and then Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield. When we look at Cole Caulfield, he has 11 points, 5 goals, and 6 assists in his last 10 games, so he has been playing hot. And Nick Suzuki has been strong, especially at home versus the Eastern Conference. So I do think we're going to see that step up of Nick Suzuki in this one. I would look at them to parlay their points out there as well. I am sorry, the snowblower is obviously going outside. So if you hear that feedback, you guys, that is what is happening right now. So my apologies. Let's move on to the next game, and the dog is going to start barking. This is going to be a game, though, with the LA Kings and the Pittsburgh Penguins. I can't see the dogs barking in this one. The Penguins are plus 125 here on the money line. We got minus 150 here for the LA Kings. We know how strong this Kings team has been. Total of 5.5 in this game. Now the 5.5 is juiced to that over at minus 124. And rightly so. This Kings team can score. And what we've seen out of Tristan Jarry, I think they'll be able to find the back of his net. The Pittsburgh Penguins, their biggest weakness has been a net, has been defensively. So I'm not counting out their offense to get on the board with Malkin and Sidney Crosby. And I think the Kings will play a really solid game here. So they're off the win versus Rangers. They're able to put up 5 goals on the Rangers, but not really that impressive with how the Rangers are playing as of late. This team has a really strong defense. Their kills at 81.2%. They are only taking right around 9 penalty minutes. So stronger defense overall. And when I look at teams, it's got to be the stronger defense that I do trust in. The power play isn't very good here for the LA Kings, which is surprising. It's weak at 15.9. We do have a stronger power play for the Pens. So I think the power play for the Pens will be negated by the strong kill here, by the defense of the LA Kings. So they're still going to get on the board, though. I really do think. I'm going to look here at Campaign Kopitar to register those points together. I'm also going to look at Chris Letang here for the Pittsburgh Penguins. He has scored a goal in 3 of their last 4 games, so he has been rolling hot. Yeah, we've got game 4 here for the Kings on the road. So this is an extremely long road trip that they're on. I'm kind of a little bit nervous. Game 4 of a road trip sometimes seems to be a letdown. They've won 6 of their last 7 games overall. This team has been flying hot. They're at the Flyers on Thursday and the Preds on Saturday, the Capitals on Sunday to finish up this road trip. So I'm a little nervous with the Kings, but I do think they should be able to get the win here. Either way, I think it goes over that total. Again, 5.5 to the over at -124. The Pittsburgh Penguins can just give us a couple goals. We know the LA Kings can do so. So not enough value on me to take the Pittsburgh Penguins. I don't love the value, of course, on the LA Kings, especially game 4 here on the road of the 7-game road trip. So just give me the over 5.5, you guys. The next game on deck, we have the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, the Columbus Blue Jackets are taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. This should be an interesting one. Tampa returning home off that long road trip. We're able to get the win on the last game of that road trip. I believe it was a 4-game road trip versus the Seattle Kraken. I didn't expect them to come out so hot in that game. So now they're at home. They're taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Columbus Blue Jackets are a $2 underdog here on the road. These teams just met up in November, and we did see Columbus get a 7-6 win. I believe it was. They were able to put up all of those goals. And yeah, because Elvis allowed 6 goals in that matchup. So looking at this total, 6.5 plus 102 to the over, can we see these teams play pond hockey again? With the defense, that's the thing that scares me when a team returns home is their defense. How will that defense produce off that road trip? So looking at the money line here, $2 underdog for Columbus, -260 here for the Tampa Bay Lightning. If you think they can cover that puck line laying 1.5, it's coming in at -105. The Columbus Blue Jackets plus 1.5 is -115. And I would rather go that way than look at Tampa. I do think they can keep this a tight battle. Elvis scares me a little bit because Elvis in the last game allowed those 6 goals. And in the game prior versus Lightning, he did allow 3. And then a couple games before that, he allowed those 6. So Elvis has had struggles versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. Vasilevsky expected in net for them tonight. Now, their power play is elite. They will be able to convert as we got a weak kill here for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And Columbus is 3-5-2 in their last 10 games. They've lost their last 4. Sundays, they lost to Carolina Hurricanes 4-1. Can they put up a goal to push this one to the over? I'm kind of nervous about it. I think that they can do enough in this to keep it tight, but could we see with this total of 6.5, a 4-3 pushes us over, 3-2 keeps us under. I think 4 goals come out of the Lightning no matter what. I'm worried about that 4-2 situation here with Columbus only putting up 2 goals, to be honest with you. So Tampa Bay's team total is sitting at 3.5. The over 3.5 goals for the Tampa Bay Lightning, even though they're off this road trip, I think is the best way to take it. The problem is the books have it juiced. It's -135 currently on the board for the Tampa Bay Lightning over 3.5 goals. Now, I think it's still a solid way to go. Tampa has won 7, like their last 7 versus Columbus when at home. So that last win by Columbus was in Columbus. I'm looking for the revenge factor here for the Tampa Bay Lightning as well, especially after they allowed so many goals by the Columbus Blue Jackets. So I think Vasilevsky really locks down in this one. The kill isn't elite here for Tampa, but this team has been scoring. They have been hot. First game home off that road trip, though, so that is a little worrisome. They have the Blues on deck on Thursday, sitting 6th in the Central. We're sitting 4th in the Atlantic here with the Tampa Bay Lightning. They're so strong at home, 8-4-1 at home this season, and 8th in the Metro here for Columbus. 4-10-2 on the road. So not a team we can really trust, especially when we look at that last 10 record. Like I stated, 3-5-2 in their last 10. I still think they show up hard in this one, but I'm counting on Tampa to get things done. So if you want to look at Tampa in reg, I don't hate Tampa in reg either. The only possibility is that the empty netter, I think, would push us over the total if we see that. But I think if they get that goal because they put their goaltender, that would push us to overtime. But I think it goes in red. Jake Gunsel for his points tonight. He's been so phenomenally hot right now, you guys. Jake Gunsel seems unstoppable out there for the Tampa Bay Lightning. 10 goals and 3 assists over his last 10 games. So looking at Jake Gunsel for his points, 2+ points tonight, for his anytime goal, definitely where I'd be looking, as well as Braden Point. Braden Point coming in here, just a fantastic center out there, and I like him versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. We've seen him have success. So look at Braden Point as well for his point tonight or his anytime goal. I like both of those out there. You're taking the New York Rangers on the money line. Okay, I can see why. But I can't get there. I'm going to be honest with you. The New York Rangers they've been a mess, and the Nashville Predators have been a mess too. So we'll get to that game. First, we're going to talk the Isles versus the Carolina Hurricanes. The New York Islanders coming in here at +180 for underdogs on the road, -225 against the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, the Canes, we know, have that home ice advantage. They've been lights out on their own home ice. Total 5.5 at -124. This game really comes down to me which team can play a full 60 minutes, because we've seen inconsistencies out of both of these teams. Andrew Lee's been strong for the Isles. We know Sebastian Aho, Seth Jarvis, Brett Burns. We got playmakers across the board here for Carolina, especially at home. They're -225, though, on the money line. It's just unbettable, that price. -1.5 on that puck line is +118. And I think it is worth a shot here because I just don't trust the Isles. The Isles have a weak kill. Their power or their penalty kill is right around 64.7%. And we look how strong the power play is here for the Carolina Hurricanes, and that power play clicking at 26.8%. So I think Carolina, off that win versus the Columbus Blue Jackets on a Sunday, 4-1, brings that momentum here at home. They're sitting 3rd in the Metro right now, you guys. They are 12-4 at home this season. They have to play a full 60 minutes. So now when we look at the Carolina Hurricanes, they have been able to get up in that first period versus the Isles. I'll look at them in the first period on the puck line. Laying a half a goal on the puck line in the first period is coming in at +128. Now, the regulation bet for Carolina is -145. So if you're willing to lay that much juice, I'm not. You guys know my limit's like 144. I'm pretty solid with sticking to that under. And in a game like this, I don't want to lay that. That would have to be maybe like a team total that I felt really confident on to take it up to -144. I just don't like the reg price here. I will look at the Canes on the puck line, though, at +118, laying 1.5. I'll put a half unit on the first period here for the Carolina Hurricanes on the puck line, -0.5 goal, +128. The other half a unit on the Carolina Hurricanes for the full game on that puck line at +118. Sorokin expected here for the Isles. They have the weakest power play in the whole league. It's only converting at 12.2%. So I think special teams, huge factor here, huge area of concern for the Isles against a team that is so solid at home. Now, no look ahead. They have the Caps on Friday here to start a 4-game road trip. 3 of them are before the Christmas break, and then they have after the Christmas break 1 on the road before returning home. So I think they get it done in this one. Last game here. No, Friday will be their last game at home. So no, they're at the Capitals on Friday. So last game here before the Christmas break is this one. We have the Isles also off that loss to Chicago 5-3. They lost to the Blackhawks 5-3. Yes, they're going to want to get back on the board, but I can't trust them. They're at the Leafs on Saturday. But if you want to look at Anders Lee has been strong for the Isles. His anytime goal coming in at plus 280. Again, Aho is where I'd circle for that anytime goal for the Carolina Hurricanes. Okay, guys, the Nashville Predators are taking on the New York Rangers. You guys threw it out. The New York Rangers on the money line. They're coming in at plus 102. If you trust this team, minus 122 here for the Predators. Now you're starting to lose value on the Preds. This was basically a pick 'em last night. Total 5.5 in this one, minus 138 to the over. I'm going to look at this first period to go over that total. We know here that the Rangers have been allowing those goals to come in. Igor Shesterkin expected while he's a strong goaltender. I think the Nashville Predators really hit him in this game. Saros expected for them. Now, the Rangers do have the power play advantage. So if Nashville plays a game in which they spend a lot of time in the box, the Rangers are going to win this. We're seeing the Preds off that loss to the Avs on Saturday, 5-2. The Rangers have lost their last two. That last loss was on Sunday to the Blues, 3-2. The Saturday they lost 5-1 to the Kings. They're at the Stars on Friday, then the Canes at home on Sunday. The Devils on the road on Monday, and then head into the Christmas break. This is the first game home off of 2 games on the road for the Nashville Predators. A normal fade spot here. They do have the Pittsburgh Penguins on Thursday and the Kings Saturday, the Canes at home on Monday before the break. They have only won once in their last 10 games, you guys. So it's an ugly bet here for the Nashville Predators. They're 1-6-3 in their last 10. This team has been struggling now. Roman Josi is a game time basically decision. He's yet to be determined if he'll be on the ice tonight. They're defensemen. Because of that, I really do think if he's not on the ice, we just fly over this total tonight. I expect those goals to come in by the Rangers and the Preds. Now, the Rangers have played so strong in Nashville, going 4-1 in the last 5 meetings in Nashville. The road team also has had the advantage between these two. So I completely understand why you'd want to back the Rangers, especially with the plus money that you're getting. 8-2 in the last 10 for the road team. I just don't trust the Rangers right now. I can't put my money on this team. I would rather look at a team that's won 1 in their last 10. Yes, it is crazy to look at the Nashville Predators, but they're playing for some pride out here on the ice. Steven Stamkos has been strong versus the Rangers in his career. I'm going to circle Stamkos to come out nice and strong in this game. I would look at him for his points, but I'm also looking at him for that anytime goal. That's coming in at plus 200. He has 19 career goals versus the New York Rangers, 6 goals in the last 10 meetings. So I will take him for the anytime goal. I think the best bet here is just to look at this one to go over that total. Now the total sitting at 5.5 minus 138. I think this is a 4-3 style game. So I would look at this one to come out and for this one to go over 6.5 if you want to ult it there. Good morning, Kev. Yeah, the Rangers are above 500. You're so right. They are playing better on the road this season than they are at home in the Garden. So definitely somewhere you want to go. But looking at that total, the 5.5 is just too low. We've got so many 5.5s out there tonight. I love defensive hockey. I love games that stay under that total. I just can't trust Igor right now. I can't trust Saros right now. And I can't trust the Rangers right now. So I think the over is the best bet. The first period over 1.5 as well. But I just can't get there with the Rangers. The New Jersey Devils and the St. Louis Blues. This is a game I think you just ult the hell out of the under, you guys. We've got a total of 5.5 minus 104 to the under. I think this is a 2-1 win here for the St. Louis Blues. I would ult this to under 4.5. Let me just pull up that under 4.5 at plus 255. I really can't see a lot of goals in this one. We've got a goaltending duel. Jacob Markstrom expected here for the New Jersey Devils and Binghamton expected for the St. Louis Blues. Now, Binghamton had a shutout win versus the Devils in November. We saw the Blues get this win 3-0. It was just on November 27th, I believe. We just saw this. So Binghamton was able to get that shutout win. He stopped all 32 shots on his net. He absolutely stood so freaking tall between the pipes. He's going to do it again. When we look at Jacob Markstrom, that's the weakest link here for the goaltending, not because of how he's playing as of late, but how he's played versus the St. Louis Blues. He's 4-10-2 versus the St. Louis Blues in his career with a goals against average of 3, a save percentage of 885. So we need Jacob Markstrom to look like the Jacob Markstrom we've seen in his 5 starts in December, because that has been phenomenally hot. He's got a goals against average of 1.39. So that's where I'd go. I'm ulting this one. I'm taking the under 5.5, but I'm going to ladder it down. I'm going to take under 5.5, under 4.5, and what the hell? I'm going to sprinkle a little bit under 3.5. I think we have the possibility of 1-1 going to OT. I think this one has every possibility of going to a shutout. And I think the St. Louis Blues, with the value you're getting on this team at home at plus 155, definitely will have my money tonight. I think this is a complete goaltending battle out there. Now, Jacob Markstrom has been the hotter goaltender, but Binghamton, I tell you, Binghamton in this one, I think, has every ability to steal them the win at home. You guys know I absolutely love a home dog. And because I'm looking at this one to be such a low-scoring game, there is no way I'm going to touch any player props in this one. But if you want to look at Dougie Hamilton here, he's been strong for the Devils out there on the road. He's been able to score in their last 3 road games. So that's where I would look. And then Kyrou here, Robert Thomas for the St. Louis Blues. But again, huge. It's hard to hit player props when you're looking at an under, right? Like, it's fun to hit those player props when we've got like a pond hockey game. But when you got that under, I don't love to bet them. Okay, so that's where I'm going. The New Jersey Devils have scored less than 3 goals just 8 times this season. So it's a little dangerous for sure. But the Blues are a team that can really lock them down. Let's look at the Washington Capitals. Now, the Washington Capitals are taking on the Chicago Blackhawks. Just let me pull up lines for you guys here as I open that other tab for those totals. The Washington Capitals are minus 205 here on the money line, plus 168 for the home dog here in Chicago, total of 5.5, minus 122 to the over 5.5. And I love an upset, especially a home dog, but I can't get behind Chicago. Chicago coming off a win. You look for teams to take momentum off a win into their next game. This isn't a team that is able to do this. Off a home win, the Chicago Blackhawks have then gone into their next game and lost their last 8 in this situation. So I can't back them, especially against the Washington Capitals team that is so hot out there. Now, this is the second night of a back-to-back. They did lose to the Dallas Stars last night. That was a battle out there on the ice between them and Dallas. So could we see tired legs? Could we see Chicago actually put up a couple goals on Logan Thompson here? We could in this game. They got up in the first period versus the Stars 1-0, and then they let it go. So the Stars won 3-1. They have the Carolina Hurricanes on deck on Friday. So this game could be that letdown spot that Chicago is hoping for, but I just can't trust Chicago either, especially when you look at the Capitals. They've won the last 4 meetings versus the Blackhawks. The favorite is 4-0 in the last 4 meetings as well. The home team has had the advantage when these two meet up, going 15-6 in the last 21. I can't trust Chicago. I don't want to, it's not enough value. If Chicago is maybe plus 300, plus 350, maybe then I would look at them there in that situation, playing the number, but I just can't get there in this one. Could they win? Absolutely, in this spot where the Washington Capitals are sitting right between a Stars loss and a Canes game. So this team is first in the Metro, though. Who wants to step in front of them? 21-6-2 on the season. I'm going to look at this one to go over 5.5 goals at minus 122. I think the first period actually goes over 1.5 as well. That's coming in at minus 112. Dylan Strome has been playing hot, and he did play for the Chicago Blackhawks. It was back in 2018. So we have seen Dylan Strome be able to put those points, put those goals on the board. I'll look at Dylan Strome to come out nice and strong here for the Washington Capitals. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I almost thought it was Thursday. Happy Tuesday, Larry. Good to see you here today. Okay. We got to talk the Boston Bruins and the Calgary Flames. I'm going to be at this game tonight, so let's see if I can bring my Calgary Flames some luck. My mom won't be there, though. And we know we have all been riding those trends when my mom is in the building. The Flames have been winning this season. They're taking on Boston, a team that they struggle against, but that they can score on. We have seen the over between these two in the last 5 meetings in Calgary. We've seen it go 4-1 to that over. The Bruins, though, have rolled in, and they played so strong, winning 5 of the last 7 in Calgary. But Calgary's coming in on a couple days rest, which has been a strong suit for this team. 5-1 in their last 6 games on 2 days rest. Bruins have already won this matchup 4-3 this season. We've got a couple of playmakers, like Elias Lindholm, who did play for Calgary. He played 6 seasons for Calgary, and he's been strong facing his former team. We saw him in Vancouver be able to record that point in their last game versus a former team. He was only with Vancouver for like a hot minute, but his former team was the Calgary Flames, where he spent 6 seasons. So I'm looking for Elias Lindholm for the point tonight at plus 124. And he normally gets those points via the assist. The assist coming in at plus 250. I think it is a great way to look. Kuzmenko is still listed day-to-day for the Calgary Flames here. I'm just going to take this one to the over. I think this one goes over that total. Current lines on this, the over 5.5 at minus 106. I am hoping Calgary can get the win at plus 112, but we've got Dan Vladar expected and not Dustin Wolf. Dan Vladar has been allowing those goals to come in, and I think Brad Marchand and Elias Lindholm out there on the ice will have a night. I'm looking for another 4-3 style game. I'm hoping Calgary can pull it off, but I'm not holding my breath here, you guys. I think the over. Just take the over 5.5 in this one and hope for those goals. You are riding with the Flames on the money line. I hope you're right, Kev. I really do. I want to get there, but I can't because it's Dan Vladar. And I don't say that in a bad way against Dan Vladar. He's 6-6-4 on the season with a 3.08 goals against average and an 885 save percentage. Dustin Wolf has been so hot at home. We got Swayman expected here for the Boston Bruins, who is 10-10-2 with a 3.16 and a 0.888 save percentage. So both of these goaltenders have been allowing those goals to come in. It's going to come down to a little bit of puck luck. You are seeing Dustin Wolf confirm. Rob, you just made my freaking day. Take Calgary's team total to the over. We're going to get there. Let's just jump on this right now. You guys, you got to put this bet in before we lose the best of the number. With Dustin Wolf out there, I expect him to stand freaking tall between the pipes against them, against the Boston Bruins. So the Bruins have a team total of 2.5, minus 168 to the over. Don't touch it. The Calgary Flames over 2.5 at minus 128. That is where I'm going. I think Calgary will get 3 goals on Swayman in this game. I love it. I love that Calgary is coming out there. You're going to take the Flames. With Dustin Wolf in net, you got to put a sprinkle on the Flames for sure. You guys made my freaking day. I get to go. I get to watch Wolf. I remember him in his first start for the Flames. I went to that game. We were right behind the players' box, and just the love the players have for him out there and how much support they gave him and how much support the city gives him. It's fantastic to see. Kelly, I appreciate you so freaking much. Thank you for being here today. So that is where we're going. We're going to look at Calgary. We're going to look at their team total over 2.5 goals. Swayman allows those goals to come in. We got the Bruins off that win versus Vancouver. They got a big win. So 5-1, but I think Calgary hits them and hits them hard. Calgary strong on that rest, but I think it goes Calgary, especially over their team total. I worry that Boston against Wolf. Wolf has just been too hot to him and Gustafsson. Really, on their home ice for the Minnesota Wild, Gustafsson, they've been fantastic. Okay, the Ottawa Senators. You guys have me smiling. Thank you so much, Rob, for letting me know. The Ottawa Senators taking on the Seattle Kraken. The Sens rolling in at minus 130 here. They will be on Calgary on Thursday. We've got the Seattle Kraken coming in at plus 108. We got a total of 5.5 in this one. I trust the Senators to put up the goals, but can the Seattle Kraken? This is because of Omar. Omar has been playing so hot. He's like Jacob Markstrom out there right now. Both of these goaltenders are not goaltenders that you want to take lightly out there on the ice. He's only given up 5 goals in his last 5 starts. So I like them to really limit the Seattle Kraken. I'm going to take the Kraken's team total. This team total coming in at 2.5. I'm taking it to the under at plus 112. We're getting some plus money there on the under for the Seattle Kraken. And could they win? Yeah, they could. If they win this, it's a 2-1 win over the Ottawa Senators because Joey Daccord has been playing strong. Seattle is at home. They have been taking less penalty minutes, especially as of late. I like what they're doing because they do have a weak kill, so they can't spend time in the box. They're off the loss to the Tampa Bay Lightning. They allow too many goals, so I do see that lockdown coming out of the Seattle Kraken in this one. The home team has had the ice advantage as well, winning 5 of the last 7 meetings. Drake Batherson, though, here for Ottawa, has been playing nice and strong out there for him. He's been getting those goals on the board, and we did see this matchup already back in November. This was one of those games where the Ottawa Senators were able to get the shutout win, 3-0 versus them. So their defense has been playing great as well. They've been really locking down. So if the Kraken win this, I do think it's a 2-1 win. If the Ottawa Senators win this, I think they win at 3-2. So I think you just look at the team total here of the Kraken. I think they get 2 goals at most, maybe even 1 on Allmark. I think they at least get 1 though. This team at home this season, 8-7-2. And we look at the Ottawa Senators out there on the road. They've gone 5-7-1. So looking to get above 500, they're going to need a couple wins to get above 500 before the break. They're at the Flames on Thursday, at the Vancouver Canucks on Saturday. And this is weird, right? So they come to Calgary on Thursday, they go to Vancouver on Saturday, and then they have to fly to Edmonton on Sunday. That is a brutal schedule between Vancouver, Edmonton, and Calgary. It's not short. Well, Calgary too, they're shorter flights, but all of that travel between them, they should have gone really Calgary, Edmonton, then Vancouver, and then headed home for the break. But I don't make the schedules, you guys. It's a big disadvantage here for the Ottawa Senators, though. Okay, let's move on to the next game. The Winnipeg Jets are taking on the San Jose Sharks. You guys know how much love I have for the San Jose Sharks right now. They're a plus 176 dog here at home. We've got minus 215 on the money line for the Winnipeg Jets. So that puck line minus 1.5 at plus 122. Total of 5.5 at minus 130 to the over. Sign me up for the over in this one. Hellebuck is expected here for the Winnipeg Jets. In the last game versus the Sharks, he allowed 3 goals on only 22 shots on his net. Celebrini and Tyler Toffoli just clicking like crazy out there on the ice. And Georgiev expected here for the San Jose Sharks. We know Georgiev will let those goals in. We got a decent kill here on the PK for the San Jose Sharks. That's hitting at 81.1%. The kill is actually stronger for them than it is for the Jets. Their kill is 78.6, but the Sharks have to stay out of that freaking box. If they get in the box tonight, the Jets are going to run away with this game because their power play is so elite. Best power play in the league, converting 30.3% of the time, and just a terrible, weak, awful power play here for the Sharks, only converting 18.1. We did see this matchup in October, actually. Mid-October, we saw the Jets get a huge win. They won that 8-3. So they still allowed 3 goals here out of the San Jose Sharks. The Sharks do have a team total of 2.5. They're at home. I do think Hellebuck will allow a couple goals out of the Sharks. It's going to be tight to the 2.5, but I would rather take it over 2.5 than under 2.5. The over 2.5, we're getting plus money at plus 104. I trust in Celebrini and Toffoli to get on the board, and the Jets allowed goals by Montreal as well. So you look at Montreal was able to score on them. I think the Sharks can score on them. They have the Ducks. The Jets have the Ducks tomorrow, so it's the first night of a back-to-back here for them. Are they looking ahead to the Ducks? No. They're looking, here's the Sharks, then we got the Ducks. They already know they beat them, and they beat them so bad that the Sharks, I think, look at that now at home, and then they can come out here and get the goals on the board. Now, the Jets have won 4 of the last 5 meetings. I still think they get the win, but they're also, this is interesting. So they've won 4 of the last 5 meetings, but when they've gone into San Jose, they've actually only won 1 of the last 5, you guys. So they've struggled here in San Jose. Do I want to take the Sharks on the money line? Heck yeah, I do. Am I going to? What is the money line again for them, you guys? I might be talking myself into it. Plus 176, no. If they were giving us plus 2-ish, plus 2 and change, I would jump on the Sharks. At plus 176, it's not worth it against this team. The Winnipeg Jets are phenomenally strong. That power play is strong. And if the Sharks spend time in the box, we're going to see the Jets run away with it. So at plus 176, not enough value. If the Winnipeg Jets go up first in this game by 2 goals in that first period, and I can come back in on the Sharks at plus 300, plus 350, or on that puck line, plus 2.5. That is where I'll go with this game. But at this price, it's not worth it for me. The under is 7-2 in the last 9 meetings between these two teams. But I do think with how the Sharks have been playing, we're going to see the goals out of them pushing us over that total in this game. So if you just want to look at the total over 5.5 at minus 130, you know the Winnipeg Jets are going to score. Georgiev was with the Avs last month when he faced the Sharks. Now, he would have got a little bit more support on the defensive side than he will get tonight versus with the Sharks. In that game, he played fantastic. That was one of his strong games for the Avs. He only allowed 1 goal on 28 shots on his net. So if they win this tonight, the Sharks win it because Georgiev locks completely down, but I don't think he's going to get enough support in this one against the Jets. And the Jets won't be looking ahead. They played Montreal. They got the win 4-2. So they do have like weaker teams. And you sometimes see these teams let down against weaker teams. First night back-to-back, they got the Ducks tomorrow and then the Wild at home on Saturday. Tomorrow's game would be my letdown spot. I wouldn't look at this one to be the letdown spot. Okay, that's it. We flew through those 10 games, you guys. So that was really fast. I'm just going to look here at goaltending confirmations to see if anyone else has been locked up as we go through these games, as we do the recap, because I want to make sure nothing has changed as of late. So we're seeing Lankin is confirmed for Buffalo. Montreal has confirmed Montague. Jet Greaves is now in for the Columbus Blue Jackets. So that does add an element of change there. Elvis has been giving up those goals. Jet Greaves does not have solid numbers, though, so it really shouldn't change much that we're liking in that matchup. Darcy Kemper is now expected for the LA Kings. I was thinking David Rittich. He will let some goals in. I really do think that one. We did like the over, though. In that one, if the Penguins could put up some goals. So not worried about that. We still have Sorokin and Trocheckov. Sorokin confirmed for the Isles. Igor and Saros, there you're expected. Markstrom and Binghamton. Okay, so everything except for Dustin Wolf is pretty much looking the way that I expected out there. So let's get to the recap, you guys. We will look at those player props as well. Yes, we will build that parlay for you for sure. Let's make some freaking money tonight, Mo. I'm just going to have one sip of my coffee and let's get to it, you guys. Okay. You guys ready for the recap? I'm ready. I definitely am. I'm so excited to go to the Bruins and Flames game tonight. So if you're in Calgary, if you're there, see me, say hi. I would love to say hi to you guys. Let's jump into it now. The Buffalo Sabres are taking on the Montreal Canadiens. I do lean to Montreal to be able to get the win here. 5-3 style game. Montreal on the money line, we're getting some plus money. Now the Buffalo Sabres have been getting up in the first period in their matchup. So if you want to wait for Montreal when you're getting better value, I don't blame you. I can't look at the Buffalo Sabres in the first period at the juice. You're going to have to lay, though, at minus 122. Just not enough value on this team who's lost their last 10 games. And yes, they've been cashing first in the first period. I just don't trust it. I think you look at this game to go over. You can ult this one up to 6.5. I also like the first period over 1.5. You're getting the most value there at minus 120. Tags Thompson, Alec Tuck for your points on Buffalo, and then looking at Suzuki and Caulfield for your points there on Montreal. The LA Kings versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. Darcy Kemper is now expected, not David Rittich. It doesn't change much for me. This is game 4 out there on the road of a 7-game road trip for the LA Kings, so a little worrisome in this matchup. I'm just going to look at this one to go over the total of 5.5. Darcy Kemper. Tristan Jarry is expected here for the Pittsburgh Penguins. We know their biggest weakness has been goaltending and defense out there. This team can score. So Chris Letang, I will look at for the points tonight. for the Penguins and Kemper and Kopitar parlaying their points there for the LA Kings. Could the Penguins pull off the upset? They absolutely could in this one. You got a home dog. I just don't know if I trust it enough, you guys. I think the over is your best way to go. The Columbus Blue Jackets and the Tampa Bay Lightning. We no longer have Elvis expected here. We got Jack Greaves, and I don't trust him. But Elvis, I haven't trusted versus the Tampa Bay Lightning either. He's been allowing those goals to come in. Versus Andre Vasilevskiy, still expected here for the Lightning. I'm going to look at the Lightning to be able to put up those goals. Over 3.5 goals. It's right around that minus 130 mark. If it's changed with confirmation, if it hits above minus 140, I definitely wouldn't be looking there. The Columbus Blue Jackets, I'd rather take them plus the 1.5 at minus 115 than lay the 1.5, especially because the Tampa Bay Lightning are returning from a road trip. We've seen Columbus be able to win this matchup in November, but home ice has been a huge advantage between these two. Just not enough value here to look at Tampa in regulation for me. Jake Gunsel for his points tonight. He's been so hot as of late. You can't deny him. And Braden Point as well for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Shane Monahan let us down in that last game with our points, but I do think he could come out nice and strong. This team's just been struggling so much on the road. The Isles and the Carolina Hurricanes. This will come down to which team do I trust more to play a full 60 minutes. We've talked about the inconsistencies out there of Carolina as of late, and I do think the Isles could really push them in this game. But at the end of the day, it is the Canes in reg. This team has been so strong at home. Krochekov expected in goal. In reg, though, it's too juicy at minus 145. If the value comes down, if the juice comes down on this one, I would be looking at hitting them. I think your best bet is to look at the Canes in the first period. Canes in the first period on the puck line laying a half a goal is coming in at plus 128. I'll put a half unit on that and a half unit on the full game puck line here at plus 118 for the Carolina Hurricanes. They've been able to win the last 4 first periods versus the Isles. I'm going to look at Aho for the anytime goal. Anders Lee, though, has been strong for the Isles, and I do think he can come out nice and strong in this one tonight. The New York Rangers and the Nashville Predators. This comes down to which team do I trust more? Am I going to trust a 1-9 team in their last 10 games here at home in the Preds? I guess I am, because I can't trust what we're seeing out of the Rangers. I do not know what is wrong with this team, what is happening with this team. This is a team that I love to go all the way this season, and they are just completely falling apart in a lot of these games. Now, they did win this matchup back in just December 2nd. So like a couple of weeks ago, that was a 4-3 win for them. I think we see those goals coming, and I think that's your best bet. Like the looking here at the Predators on the money line, you're getting great. No, you're not even. You're having to lay juice. They should be the underdog here versus the Rangers. It's what we should see, but no one has faith in the Rangers right now. So I don't want to lay the juice with the Predators, but I do see them with a path to getting the win here. I think the over 1.5 in the first period, and to look here at the over for the full game. Stamkos, I'm going to look at Steven Stamkos for his points tonight and his anytime goal. Plus 200 for the anytime goal for Stamkos. Zibanejad better step up for the Rangers if they want to get that win. Now, the New Jersey Devils and the St. Louis Blues. This is where I love this game. I love this game. If this game goes over the total, I'm going to be pulling out my hair. I'm going to be screaming. I'm going to be at the game watching Calgary and the Bruins, and I'm going to have on my app this game watching the New Jersey Devils and the St. Louis Blues. And I tell you guys, just pray for the people around me if this game is going over that total, because I'm ulting it all the way down. I think we have a goaltending duel between Jacob Markstrom and Jordan Binnington. We know the Blues already won this matchup 3-0 earlier this season. And I think how Binnington played in that game, able to record the shutout, how hot Jacob Markstrom has been of late. This is a 2-1 win in OT for one of these teams. That is exactly where I'm looking. The value on the St. Louis Blues is too much for me to pass up at plus 155 on the money line. I think they have every ability to get this win versus the New Jersey Devils. So I love both of these teams. I love what Jacob Markstrom brings to the table. I love what we've seen out of Jordan Binnington and the Blues and the defense here. Give me this one. The under 5.5 at minus 104, the under 4.5 at plus 255, the under 3.5 at plus 600 and change. I love it. I really hope if this game finishes like with 8 goals, yeah, I will be pulling out my hair. If you want to look at playmakers, which I won't, it would be Dougie Hamilton and Jordan Kyrou out there. The Washington Capitals and the Chicago Blackhawks, you guys. I think this one just goes over that total. The Washington Capitals have played Chicago so phenomenally strong, but the home team has had that home ice advantage. I can't trust Chicago, though, off a win at home. They have not been able to win their next game in their last 8 in this situation. The Caps are playing great hockey, but this could be that spot where they're off a loss to the Stars last night. Now they have to face Chicago with the Carolina Hurricanes on deck on Friday. It could be that letdown game, that classic letdown game that we see hockey teams play in where you're like, how did they lose to Chicago? The problem is here, I'm not getting enough value on the Chicago Blackhawks on the money line for me to want to touch this team. The Boston Bruins versus the Calgary Flames. Again, I get to be at this game tonight. I'm looking for more goals than not. I'm expecting a higher scoring game, especially out of Calgary. So Calgary should be able to hit Swayman in this matchup. Calgary's coming in on a couple days rest. And now that we have confirmation that it's Dustin Wolf in goal, with how hot he has been, even though the Bruins have rolled in so strong in Calgary, I think Dustin Wolf is a difference maker between the pipes because I can't trust Swayman. Swayman's numbers aren't great. Calgary should be able to hit him. I'm going to take a chance on Calgary on the money line. I'm also going to take their team total over 2.5 goals. Now, you're going to have to lay some juice. I believe it was minus 124 when we just got that bet in. But I do think you look at Calgary, you look for them to score on Swayman. I expect it to go over, though, because you've got so many playmakers that are on Boston that can get things done that I think Dustin will probably let's in too. Could we see a 4-2 win here for the Calgary Flames? That total sitting at 5.5. That puts us over that total. Could we see 3-3 going to overtime? I don't know if Dustin Wolf allows in 3 goals. So it'll be interesting to see what he's able to do in this one. I'm going to look at Elias Lindholm for the point tonight versus a team that he played 6 seasons for with the Calgary Flames. I think he registers that point. You're getting plus money on the point at plus 124. I could see Brad Marchand getting that goal. The assist here for Elias Lindholm is plus 250. And yeah, Calgary's team total. I love Calgary's team total tonight. The Ottawa Senators versus the Seattle Kraken. I'm going to take the Kraken's team total under 2.5 goals. That's coming in at plus 112. Allmark is expected in net tonight for the Ottawa Senators. How he's been playing as of late over his last 5 games, he's only given up a total of 5 goals. I'm looking for him to completely shut down the offense here of the Seattle Kraken. So the Kraken can still win in a 2-1 style game, and we still stay under the 2.5 for the Kraken. And that's, I think it's that low scoring because Joey Decord has been strong. If the Sens win this, they win at 3-1, 3-2. So I'm looking for a nice lower scoring game in this. The Winnipeg Jets and the San Jose Sharks. I love a home dog in the Sharks. I think the best value is just to look at their team total over 2.5 at plus 104. I can't get there on the money line with what we're getting for value-wise with the Sharks, but the Sharks have played strong at home versus the Winnipeg Jets. The Jets, while they won 4 of the last 5 meetings, they have lost 4 of the last 5 in San Jose. So they have a hard time playing here. I think a lot of those cases are because they're in a weird scheduling spot. It's a letdown spot for the Jets. Now they have the Ducks on deck tomorrow, then the Wild at home on Saturday. They're off a win versus Montreal. I really do think tomorrow could be the letdown versus the Ducks. We have the Sharks though off the loss to Utah. Frustrating loss for this team. They're going to look to get back in the win column. So I love them over 2.5 goals tonight. I do think with Celebrini and Tyler Toffoli, you look at their points as well. And that's it. Those are all of the games tonight. Columbus used to give the Tampa Bay Lightning trouble. Sorry, I just read Tampa Lightning. Yeah, they already beat them once this season in that high-scoring game. So they're going to look for that revenge for sure in that game. Let's build a parlay. Washington, Chicago used to be high-scoring series. Yeah, they did. So I'm counting on the Blackhawks to put up some goals in that one tonight. You could look at their team total over 2.5. I do think that would be a good call as well. So let's jump into the round robin where I'm really expecting we're going to build this together as well. I'm going to start from the bottom up where I'm looking for those points. So out of the Sharks, I'm going to, okay, so the Jets, you can't deny Kyle Connor. The problem with Kyle Connor is we're going to look at his odds here for the point. Kyle Connor for the point is normally like 5-1. So you can't, it's not even bettable inside a parlay. It's not where I like to go. For the Sharks, though, I really do like Toffoli. He would be my go-to before Celebrini, and I know how hot Celebrini has been, but it's Toffoli. So I will grab Toffoli. I'm going to build this after I just write these down here, you guys. I'm just looking at the matchups, and then we will get somewhere with that. With the Sens and the Kraken, I'm going to stay off. If you really want a prop that I love with the Sens and the Kraken, it would be Drake Batherson to score a goal, but because I think this is going to be just such a low scoring game, I don't want to put it in our round robin. When we look at the Boston Bruins versus the Calgary Flames, I do think Elias Lindholm gets on the board for Boston. So I will put Elias Lindholm in our round robin. And when I look at Calgary, we're going to see who we're getting value. Bax has been playing nice and strong, so I could see Bax coming out because Menko's day-to-day. So Huberdeau, though, I think Hubi probably gets it done. We'll probably look at Huberdeau. I just want to see the value we're getting. We got a couple of playmakers there that I do like to circle for them. The Washington Capitals and the Chicago Blackhawks, I'm going to stay off of that one. I don't have a really good feeling. We're also going to stay off of the New Jersey Devils and the St. Louis Blues because, again, I'm ulting that total down. The Preds, we're going to look here. The Preds and the Rangers. So the Rangers, I'm not taking anyone. The Preds, I'm going to look at Stamkos. I think Stamkos gets on the board tonight. So we will look there. And then the last couple of games, we got the Islanders versus Carolina. Carolina, it's Sebastian Aho. He's going to be too highly juiced. I do think Anders Lee has the opportunity, but I really do think Carolina dominates that game. So I will stay off of it. When I look at the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Columbus Blue Jackets, so this is one that I do like. I really like Jake Gunsel. We can't deny Jake Gunsel. And so if you're looking for your best bet of the day of these player props, it's Jake Gunsel to continue to roll hot. Braden Point you could look at as well for the Tampa Bay Lightning, but Gunsel's where I want to go in that matchup. And then when we look at the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens, this is a good one, you guys. We've got so many playmakers on this. Buffalo, though, I will take Tage Thompson. You know how much faith I have in him. And then for Montreal, it's got to be Caulfield over Suzuki. I like both of them. So if you just want to parlay both of those, like Nick Suzuki and Caulfield for a point, parlay that together. And then Tage Thompson and Alex Tuch for the point, parlay that together. Because I think they're both getting there on both teams. So inside the round robin, though, I have more faith in Tage and I have more faith in Caulfield. Caulfield also on that one-man short on the kill has been able to score. And then when we look at the LA Kings, Kempe and Kopitar, that's where your points are coming out of those guys. Which one do I have more faith in? I'm going to circle Kopitar tonight. Chris Letang's been strong as well for the Penguins. I just don't want to include him in this. So let's build that round robin. We're going to go there. Forsberg is a few goals away. Nice call, Kelly, on Forsberg. Yeah, definitely someone to watch. You got to look at those players and where they are going. So the first game we're going to jump into and to build this, go back up to the top. I started from the bottom and now we're going to go back from the top down, looking at those points. So Kopitar, I'll put in for his point tonight in our round robin. So Kopitar minus 166 alone. It's hard to bet these guys alone for their points. It's always an issue. Kopitar and Kempe, though, I think are your playmakers from the Kings. I'm just going to put Kopitar in. When we look at the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens, Tage Thompson and Caulfield is where I'm going to go in that one. The Rangers and the Preds, I am just going to look at Stamkos. So let's get Stamkos in for that one. You guys, hopefully this one hits tonight. Okay, this is an issue. So the Rangers and the Preds don't have any player props right now. We cannot put Stamkos in, so these odds will not be what they will be once you get those player points. I do think Stamkos probably scores tonight. Stamkos's goal is coming in at plus 210. We've seen a bit of movement. It was plus 200 earlier. Now, if you want to look at Forsberg is plus 145. Kelly making that great call that he is so close to go to point number 400, right? A few goals away from 400, 4 goals away. So, yeah, you can look at Forsberg plus 145. I don't trust the Rangers to keep that one low scoring, so I would look there. But it's Stamkos I like for the point. We will wait and see on that one. We're going to look at Boston versus Calgary. I told you I wanted to look at a couple of these playmakers here for Calgary. I'm going to first put Elias Lindholm in for the point. There's the points. Let me just get the points. I almost put the goal in there. Okay, so for the point for Elias Lindholm, plus 124. Again, we're getting great value on Elias Lindholm at plus 124. Now, I talked about the playmakers on Calgary. Bax has been playing great. Connor Zary is so hungry out there. Mackenzie Weegar, Jonathan Huberdeau. Huberdeau is where I have faith in. Nazem Kadri, though, has been just flying out there on the ice. A lot of juice on Nazem Kadri for his point. I'm going to take Huberdeau. No, let's do Kadri. Let's do Kadri. He's coming in at minus 146. I think Kadri will get on the board. And then last but not least, we're going to look at the matchup between the Jets and the Sharks. Let's add a couple players. I am going to recap all of these guys, you guys. So don't freak out if you're not getting where I'm going with these points as I kind of jump all over. Points and assists out here for the Sharks. See, yeah, Kyle Connor minus 310. I don't want to throw that into a parlay. I will stay off of it. If you want to look at Josh Morrissey there for the Winnipeg Jets, I'm going to stay off of him, but he should be able to get on the board. I'm going to take Tyler Toffoli of the Sharks just to bump up the value in this one because he's plus 120. So we are 30-1 on this 6-leg game parlay. If you want to round robin it, which we will get to. You round robin it by twos for $10 for each two. It's coming in. Each one of those twos that you round robin is $89.09. So you would have, there's 13 wagers. So $130. You're going to have to hit two of those to make money. Okay, so the playmakers we're looking at. Kopitar from the LA Kings for a point. Tage Thompson from the Buffalo Sabres for a point. Cole Caulfield from the Montreal Canadiens for a point. Elias Lindholm from the Boston Bruins for a point. Nazem Kadri from the Calgary Flames for a point. And Tyler Toffoli from the San Jose Sharks for a point. The guys that you can take outside of that you're getting plus money for the point, Elias Lindholm from the Boston Bruins, Tyler Toffoli from the San Jose Sharks. All of the rest, you're going to have to lay juice, with the least juice coming in on Kopitar. So it's minus 146 for the 2x13 wagers. If you want to go 3x13, a $10 bet if 3 of them hit will come in at plus 155. And if you want to just round robin all 6 or parlay all 6 legs, it is 30-1. So a $10 leg coming in at 300 and change. So that is where I'm going with those round robins. Again, I will let you know those playmakers one more time. We're going to take Kopitar from the Kings. Tage Thompson from the Buffalo Sabres, Cole Caulfield from the Montreal Canadiens, Elias Lindholm from the Boston Bruins, Nazem Kadri from the Calgary Flames, Tyler Toffoli from the San Jose Sharks. 6 players for their points tonight. You guys, if I'm looking at the points, a lot of these times I'm looking at the goals, especially with Tyler Toffoli. I would look at Elias Lindholm for the assist tonight. That's at plus 250. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me for the last hour, you guys. You guys completely rock. Have a fantastic night tonight. Enjoy the rest of your day as well. We'll be back tomorrow at noon Eastern. Actually, check that. I think I have to pre-record tomorrow, guys. We have 5 games. So if I'm not interacting with the comments, that is why. I either have to pre-record or go live later. So I'm probably going to pre-record for tomorrow, so it is up here at the same times. Yeah, those round robins are a lot of fun, Kelly. We got to do those round robins more because I tell you, these players are getting those points on the board, and it's just a matter of time before we get all of the round robins out there. So much fun. Scott Wetzel of the Grid really put me on those round robins. We always do on the Grid those overtime round robins on Saturday college football day. So you guys, All the best. Let's make some freaking money, and I will see you tomorrow. If I'm not interacting with the comments, you know why. If I'm live at noon Eastern, I'm not interacting. You guys can make fun of me all you want because I won't even know what you're saying until after I see those comments. You guys, talk to you tomorrow.
Hit some anytime goals.